Good afternoon, students. We'll start with our today's lecture. So today we'll be starting with our chapter 9 of unit 3, that is called as XR. Why XR? Because it's extended reality of all the mix, that is virtual reality, augmented reality, mixed reality, and the conceptual differences between these, as well as the SDKs, that is the software development kits, which are being used for these compatible applications to run, as well as devices which are related to these software development kits, are all the topics which are covered under XR. So for that, the first XR differences, as well as why I have given those numbers, because to identify which topic comes under which further topic, and so that you can link between the topics while you study. So the first topic here is XR differences, SDK and devices, which we'll be seeing. The first one is Google VR, that is Google Virtual Reality. The Google Virtual Reality technology. Virtual reality means what? First of all, virtual reality means which is actually not there, but we can just, through the vision, we can just see that it's real, but it's not real. It's not moving. We create such an environment beside it so that it looks real, but it's actually not real. Example, your 3D objects. Your 3D objects are never moving. They are made and developed in such an environment that they look and feel like moving, but they are not moving. The Google VR technology supports the following VR platforms. So for particularly why platform, so suppose we take an example of a train. To run that train we require a platform. Likewise, to run that technology, the supported platform is required so that we can run that technology. And for that, there are two types in that technology which supports VR platform: Google Daydream and Google Cardboard. So Google Virtual Reality provides support to smartphones, standalone head-mounted displays, and application and head-mounted viewers and controllers. So these are the specifications in which they are supported. Google Virtual Reality has given the SDK for Unity to build the VR content. So Unity, as we can see, Unity is chapter 8 that we'll be discussing further, but Unity supports your Google Virtual Reality. Unity is an application wherein you can run 3D modules, animation, graphics, physics, your UI, that is user interfaces, everything. So Unity supports virtual reality, and that is the reason they have given SDK to Unity for running the Google Virtual Reality. The first one is Google Daydream. What first of all, what is Daydream? We'll see that Google Daydream is included in Google Virtual Reality technologies. Google Daydream is a platform for cardboard and high quality mobile virtual reality. For mobile virtual reality and for your high quality uh, platform for cardboard, Google Daydream is being used. It is built for bite size virtual reality experiences. So in bit size they will be experienced, and also for 360-degree videos. For 360-degree videos angles, Google Daydream is used. Nowadays this feature is also available on your Facebook applications. It has Daydream ready headsets, phones, and controllers. They have the controllers. What are those controllers? They are certain pinpoint sections which will be captured by the camera, so that while focusing that image or rotating that image, it will look real. And also high end Android mobile phone experience and support. So this basically supports a very leanest one of those operating systems is the Android. Examples of Daydream ready phones are Google Pixel 2, Samsung Galaxy Note 8, S8, S8 Plus, LG V30. So these are the phones in which nowadays Daydream supports. Google Pixel 2, now you have a number of varieties of Google Pixel phones also. So you can go for that. Next is Google Cardboard, that is this one. What is Google Cardboard? Google Cardboard allows anyone to access mobile virtual reality solutions with Android and iOS phones. So with your Android and Apple OS phones, Google Cardboard is the platform on which your Google Daydream can work. As compared to Daydream, the Cardboard has much less hardware. So Daydream basically is a developed hardware. Somewhere Cardboard has a less bound hardware and a minimum and recommended requirements for its usage. It has some minimal functionings only. Cardboard mainly focus on basic control and system of operating system. So Cardboard focuses on basic operating system and the control over those operating system. So if any complex virtual reality interaction include in third party, then Cardboard supports the range of controller in the app. So as a third party application also, Google Cardboard can be used. So what is basically a difference between Daydream and Cardboard? Daydream allows permit more component rich encounters than Cardboard. So Daydream is basically step 1 prior to Cardboard. However, just backings Daydream ready devices like built for VR with high resolution displays, Daydream ready phones, smooth graphics and high reliability sensors for exact head tracking. So Daydream devices are very readily easily possible devices or easily accessible devices which we can use. Daydream phone app scan applications are available with Daydream's View, Google's headset and movement controller for encountering amazing virtual reality. So the functions which Daydream is giving us is Daydream View. So these applications are available, Google's headset. So all these are possible for encountering amazing virtual reality utilizing Daydream ready phone. So Daydream should be actually compatible with the phone, then only you can be able to access this. Daydream standalone HMD, which are built by the original manufacturer, are also supported by Daydream's standalone HMDs. Why do you require to run that particular platform on your phone? So which should be readily accessible. Next is hardware and software requirements for Google Virtual Reality. So what are the hardware software requirements? First is for Cardboard. Cardboard applications, what do you require? Hardware device running Android 4.1, at least 4.1, and later with gyroscope. So further it should have a gyroscope. Devices running iOS, that is in the Apple 8, iOS 8 or later with gyroscope, that is the further applications or versions. A viewing device compatible with Cardboard. So a viewing device, that is a camera, lenses, your headsets, all those head what you say what head component, what you say is which can be put onto your head just to view, that is your headset or a movement controller which you can say is used. Then is software. Unity Cardboard integration requires Android Lollipop, so or greater version. So basically Lollipop is 2 years prior. So iOS devices with Google Cardboard application installed. So there should be a Google Cardboard application also installed on your iOS devices if they are Apple devices. Next is Daydream. For Daydream, they do not require any software. They just require a hardware. So Daydream compatible devices such as VR headset, virtual reality headsets and controllers are required to view those application or virtual reality functioning. Next is recommended hardware and software. So that was the actual requirement. Now what are the recommended software and hardware requirements? The first one is for Cardboard, and for Cardboard there is hardware. Cardboard compatible devices, any iPhone 5 series or later iPhones of iOS Cardboard compatible viewing device. Software they require is Android 5.0 or later, and for Apple they have iOS 8 or later with Google Cardboard application installed. By default also they can install it, but they should have a version 8 of Apple, and at least for Android phone they should have 5.0 version. Daydream requires recommended hardware is Daydream specification compatible any device. So Daydream compatible means on which it can run any device would be accessible. Software Android 7 is, or later Android 7 version should be there to run Daydream. Next is supported APIs and SDKs. So which are the supported APIs and SDKs? For Android, supported API and SDK is OpenGL, and not supported is XR setting dot show device view, that is not supported. For iOS, that is for Apple, you have Metal and OpenGL, and which are not supported are XR device dot is present and XR stats dot GPU time last frame. So these are not supported APIs for your normal virtual reality devices. Next is Google virtual reality controllers and input devices. So which are the actual devices? So Daydream controller is the input device for Daydream. So for controller for Daydream is Daydream controller. The Google Cardboard uses many types of third party controllers. So Cardboard uses any type of controller. They are third party. They can be downloaded to take the input. But for Daydream you require a Daydream controller only. Daydream controller has 3 degrees of freedom that gives rotational, positional and information. So these 3 degrees of Daydream controller has an input of rotational, positional and information. It has dual axis click of touch controller along with 2 extra buttons. So dual axis click is also available for Daydream. So basically supported features and sets of Daydream are, or virtual reality in Unity are: first one is Cardboard, which has a platform called as Android or later. Rendering, that is the controllers are OpenGL, that is SDK. Stereo instanced rendering, stereo rendering. Next is Cardboard device and platform is iOS. They have OpenGL, Metal, stereo instanced rendering and stereo rendering. For device of Daydream, they have Android Nougat or later using compatible hardware. Then they have SDKs, OpenGL, stereo instanced rendering and stereo rendering. Input, for here any input can be given, but for Daydream you require a Daydream controller only. Next is Vuforia. Now what is Vuforia? Vuforia is basically a cross-platform application development which is being used for augmented reality and mixed reality. Now augmented reality is basically for your 3D modules, and augmented means which pops up and which is seen as real like your 3D module, and which can be turned into all the 3 axes, that is X, Y, Z axis. Vuforia has robust tracking and performances on different hardware. So Vuforia is a sort of database which entertains your augmented reality as well as mixed reality platforms. By using the Unity's integration of Vuforia, user can develop Android games and vision based applications. By using Unity and Vuforia, anyone can develop a game or different applications using those Vuforia database. For the iOS, it has drag and drop authoring workflow. So for iOS applications, it has a very fantastic function, that is dragging and dropping just the functions and just using those functions. One can easily get the Vuforia AR plus VR samples package in the Unity Asset Store. So Unity Asset Store has all these packages, or you can directly go from Google and download those packages also. Nowadays, Unity patch codes are also available. You just have to set up their frames in Vuforia as a database. You have to set up a link and connectivity and your work is done for rotating your images, for animation and everything. Next is, first in your Vuforia you have marker based systems, that is marker based tracking. The markers are the registered images or objects with the application in MR or AR. these objects go out about as data triggers in the application. So what are those markers? Means, suppose if I have a image, on that image I will have certain points, and that points will be identified by my Unity application to rectify that image as a moving image, and for that it uses marker based tracking. So these are the images which we can, means priorly they take first single image, then cuboids, your cylinders, and your normal 3D objects. 3D objects in Unity development is also available on Google. You can go and just download those 3D images and just then link it to your code. It becomes very easy rather than developing a special 3D code for a app. That is also possible for your making games, animated games as well. With this, we'll stop here for this lecture. We'll continue the next topic in the next lecture. Today I'll be send by afternoon, I'll be sending you some extra pending topics also of the last month. Please download those, fill those attendance as well. I simultaneously I'll be giving the attendance for also for it. Please download it, and today's attendance also you have to fill by evening. Thank you.